Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So Axelar is one of those projects that I have been talking about for a bit of time now because it is becoming a legitimate blue chip giant in this space that I think everyone should be paying attention to. When we think about the future of crypto and specifically the technology behind this new and emerging asset class, because again, we still are early, we still are technically new in the world of tech. And when we think about the future, everything will be tokenized and be brought on chain, but it's not going to be done without the big players. Now, Axelar is one that's actually connecting to some of the biggest names and becoming an interoperability giant to not only realize in the tokenization revolution, but also make sure that the multi-chain future becomes a reality. And right now, this is what the one-year chart looks like for Axelar. And this is what the all-time chart for Axel actually looks like as well. This is pretty crazy. We're still down significantly, and we are still at significant lows going all the way back here to November of not 2024, of 2023. I do think that this is a project that will be significantly larger, and I think that's going to be an extremely valuable project as well. I mean, when we think about the top, I'm just going to talk about the top 15, right? Top 15 is almost $9.2 billion. Axel has right now a fully diluted value of $520 million. The upside potential here is very significant for Axel. Now let's actually talk about why I believe so. So let's first start off with the big news that actually caused Axel to pump a little bit on the daily. As you guys can see, we ran from roughly like 38 cents all the way up to about 46 cents or so. Right now we're sitting at about 45 cents or so. So this was the big news. Axel rises 15% after Canary Capital files to launch ETF tracking cross-chain protocol Axelar. According to a recent filing, Canary Capital submitted an S1 registration with the SEC to introduce the Canary Axel ETF, making it the first financial institution to propose an ETF tracking the Axelar token. The ETF filing drew attention from investors, reflecting growing interest in blockchain interoperability solutions. After this announcement, the price of Axel surged 15% to reach about roughly 0.445 cents or so. At the same time, the market capitalization of this token also recorded an impressive increase of 15.1%, reaching $411.11 million. With groundbreaking steps, Axelar is rapidly establishing its position in the blockchain industry, trusted and integrated by major tech names such as JP Morgan's Connexus, Microsoft's Azure Marketplace, Uniswap, and MetaMask, Trade Axel, and 500 plus other digital assets. Now, again, when we think about these ETFs, they definitely cause a lot of hype. It's definitely short-lived in the short term when they're just kind of getting a filing. When it actually launches, I do think that it's a little bit more stable in terms of the actual growth or the pump. But outside of that, it does show that the overall institutional interest in a lot of these projects is growing. And not only that, but interoperability solutions and these projects that are actually creating the multi-chain future, they are becoming crucial pieces of this entire space. So if you do believe in the future of this space, then you should be looking into the pillars that will essentially allow this space to become a big piece of the global system. Now, Axel, in my opinion, is one of those projects. But also, we've been seeing some pretty big updates from Axelar. Number one, in case you missed it, 98% of Axel gas fees are now burned. The last 2% fuels community proposals for more network growth, fewer Axel, stronger interoperability. And this is basically what this announcement looks like. So these are the new token mechanics. This is with the Cobalt upgrade, which, by the way, this is the Cobalt upgrade, which we'll talk about in a second. But here we actually have the full breakdown of those native tokens connecting into Axelar network. Also, we have upcoming chains on the left side as well, subject to on-chain governance. You have Solana, XLM, XRP, and I'm not too sure what the purple one is. But outside of that, this is all connected through Axelar network. You have gas fees, and then you have the burn address. And then on the right side, you do have the amplifier reward pool, and then you have the interchain verifier. So this is basically how the entire ecosystem basically works around Axelar. And I do think that this is going to be a game changer for the overall tokenomics of Axel. I mean, right now, if we think about the tokenomics for Axel, the total supply is 1.2 billion. That's absolutely nothing compared to a lot of the top 15 projects in this space, and Axel is a massive giant in the making. Also, when we look at this Cobalt upgrade, which is going to be, in my opinion, something that really propels Axelar forward, this is V1.2.1, codename Cobalt, is now live. This major upgrade hardens Axel tokenomics, securing infinite interoperability, governance-approved fee-burning mechanism, token utility that grows with each new chain connection. Following an on-chain governance vote, the upgrade to V1.2.1 Cobalt was approved, implementing new Axelar tokenomics that sends 98% of the network gas fees to a burn address. The other 2% go to a community grant pool. As the network has matured, this new upgrade hardens the Axel token supply to incentivize interoperability without inflationary rewards. Instead of securing future connections with inflationary rewards, newly connected blockchains contribute Axel into a reward pool used to compensate verifiers that secure each new blockchain connection. Axel goes beyond proof of stake utility, becoming an integral part of a powerful decentralized interoperability scaling mechanism across thousands of connected blockchains. All future blockchain integrations will be secured using interchain amplifier and this reward pool mechanism. The current list of major blockchains set to integrate via amplifier includes Monad, Solana, Stellar, Ton, XRP, Ledger, and dozens of others, including layer 1s, layer 2s, and application-specific blockchains. Axelar becomes an engine for permissionless interoperability connections, and Axel utility grows with each new blockchain connection. And here we also have another quote: "We are tokenizing interoperability. With this community-approved upgrade, Axelar is the only interoperability network with scalable tokenomics powering decentralized infrastructure for a globally connected Web3." So yeah, I mean, this is a absolute game changer, and I do think that Axel is going to be an absolute giant, considering the utility behind it, considering the integrations that it has already, and this is just another huge step for them to not only make Axel even more bullish than it already is, but also, grow the utility base behind it. On top of this, we also have a pretty big update as well, which is Brian Brooks. Guys, Brian Brooks is a big name in this space. If you know, you know. We have here thesis: all legacy payments have a common base layer, the Fed. For stablecoins to win, layer 1s need to be unified through interoperability. Axelar has built the best tech, and I'm excited to help. Here we have the big update about how the Axelar Foundation welcomed Brian Brooks to its newly formed institutional advisory board. This is going to be very exciting. I think that this is one of the most bullish announcements that I've actually read around Axelar in a bit of time. We have over here Brian Brooks to join the Axelar Foundation's newly formed institutional advisory board. As an advisor, Brian will be a tremendous partner in our continued efforts to advance blockchain interoperability infrastructure and tolling that accelerates compliant stablecoin availability worldwide. Digitization and tokenization of financial assets such as stablecoins and real-world assets is critical in order to ensure the U.S. resilience and global competitiveness. To do it successfully, tokenized assets need to be accessible across all blockchains, and blockchain interoperability is critical technology enabling this, Brooks said. The interoperability stack can only scale when its foundations are secure, decentralized, and open source, so anyone can integrate around them. As the most advanced interoperability platform, Axelar Network is uniquely suited to interconnect Web3 and traditional finance. Yeah, this is going to be a huge step in the right direction for Axelar. I think that Brian Brooks is going to be an incredible addition to the team. But we also have, with regulatory clarity on the horizon, financial institutions have made the business case for stablecoins and other tokenized real-world assets on blockchains. As they prepare innovative, globally available financial products, their need to interconnect multiple public and private blockchains has been documented by Axelar Foundation and Metrica in a white paper. Institutional interoperability, with insights from Citi, Deutsche Bank, MasterCard, and Northern Trust. Brian has been a leading voice for clear regulation and institutional use cases for decentralized blockchain technology. As an advisor, Brian will be a tremendous partner in our continued efforts to advance blockchain interoperability infrastructure and tolling that accelerates compliant stablecoin availability worldwide. Guys, I am very, very excited for the future for Axel. This is why I'm thinking that this, like when we think about this space, right? You guys already know I love utility. When we think about the top utility projects just by market cap, number 1, XRP. Number 2, again, if we're going off of like pure utility, some of the largest projects, you could throw ADA into that mix. You could throw Chainlink into that mix. You could throw HBAR into that mix. XLM as well. Avalanche is a great project as well. We've been hearing some good news about Sui. Again, I'm not too familiar with the project all that much, so I can't say for certain about it. But outside of that, there's so many great utility projects. I think that if we're talking about blue chips, Axel has a name and a position right next to some of the biggest ones in the space. A lot of people forget that, you know, tokenization, digitization, that's going to affect everything. It's not just about stablecoins. It's not just about tokenization itself. It's about everything of value moving on chain. And Axelar is one that's working with some big players like JP Morgan and Apollo to deliver Project Guardian with help from Axelar and others. This got posted back in 2023. And when we think about Project Guardian, guys, a lot of people don't know this, but this is one of the biggest initiatives from the institutional side of things around tokenization. It's literally a tokenization project made by big banks. The Monetary Authority of Singapore put out a great post regarding Project Guardian back in November, actually. And here's the objectives, right? We can see it. It's all about the life cycle of, you know, asset tokenization, but it's all to foster interoperability and at scale commercial deployments across different asset classes. Again, interoperability is crucial. Focus areas. Number 1, open and interoperable networks. That's the big thing. Interoperability is crucial here. And when we think about this, right, we also have the future of financial networks, a modular approach. Here we actually have that full breakdown of what the future financial networks would look like. You have the access layer, the service layer, the asset layer, and even the platform layer. And when we think about all of the names tied back to this pilot, look at the members of this policymaker group. You have Banque de France, Deutsche Bundesbank, Financial Conduct Authority, the Financial Services Agency as well, International Monetary Fund, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority, World Bank. Then down here you have all of the industry groups. Guys, look at all of these giants. BNY Mellon is on here. Citi, DBS, Deutsche Bank, Euroclear, Fidelity, Franklin Templeton, Hamilton Lane. I mean, it's insane. JP Morgan, Northern Trust. I mean, they're all labeled here. I mean, it's kind of insane. But when we think about this, Axelar is a big player behind this. They're the interoperability giant behind this to make sure that you have, you know, that interoperability layer in the foundation of it to connect to any other blockchain network or any, you know, network, because a lot of what we are seeing around these big banks is private ledger use cases. The private ledger is not going to work. It's a walled garden. You need to be able to connect to public chains. That's where these interoperability giants like Axelar come into play. And even over here, we got a big update from November 6th. Project DAMA 2 unveiled in the Monetary Authority Singapore's Project Guardian. Update reveals key components provided by Memento Blockchain and Axelar in tokenized assets pilot led by Deutsche Bank. Guys, I'm telling you, focus on what Axelar is doing. They are becoming a foundational player here. Like, they are a key player in all of this. They are building that foundation layer for the tokenization revolution to become a reality, along with some other big names that are tied back to Axelar, like, for example, Ripple with the XRP ledger. So, again, when we think about blue chips, I think that Axelar definitely has a position at the table. I think that it's becoming a big player. I think that the overall market opportunity here, when we look at the valuation on Axel, we look at the price point for Axel, I really think that long term, because again, even short term, I think that this is going to be a big player. I would not be surprised if this was trading at $5 towards the end of the cycle, even more possibly. But long term, I see this thing at multiple $10+ billion market caps, potentially even $100 billion plus market caps, because of how crucial this tech actually is for the future of the tokenized economy, for the future of the Web3 economy as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely have a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.